Okay, so what I want to show you is just basically this little PowerPoint on making the vase with recycled paper. So, or making a vase with paper mache. So here's just a little overview of what you would need. First, you want to blow up a balloon, and the shape of the balloon is going to really dictate the shape of your vase. And then you're going to mix your glue and water just like you did for your Oaxacan animals. You're going to rip paper into little pieces, dip it into the glue mixture, and apply it to the balloon. So a couple of things: you may want to have a little bowl that your balloon sits in. You can use additional pieces like a paper towel roll or toilet paper roll to give it a foot, which is the very bottom of your piece, or you can give it a neck, which is the top of your piece. So here's a couple of things. I'm going to show you this. I gave you a couple of resources in case you needed them. Two of them are just like DIY things, how to do this, creating the vase. So here's their getting the paper mache onto the balloon. I'm going to kind of buzz through this. And then I'm going to show you towards the end. See how they add the little part of a paper towel roll here on the very top. And then you would paper mache that too. Then you're adding, they use tissue paper. You can also use white copy paper. And then that's kind of what your piece looks like. And then they start to decorate it. And in the end, that's what that looks like. The other one is a bowl. So I'm going to allow you to make a bowl, which is what you would do is you would only have half of the balloon kind of covered. If you were going to make a bowl, I would suggest that your balloon be rather large. I mean, not giant, but not too small. And it's just showing you here, see how they have their balloons set in a plastic bowl? That would be a good thing to do, especially if you're going to just use half of it. That would be great to stabilize it. And they use flour and water. So, it's just it kind of works the same way. And then they just start covering. See how they also use the paper to define the edge of the bowl. So they kind of defined that edge before they filled up all the rest of it. And then in the end, and once it dries, you can pop the balloon. And then you can also start to decorate it. The other thing you could do is see how rough this edge is here. You could do another layer of paper mache, like maybe your last layer that you would do with white paper, to kind of round off that edge so it's not so sharp. And that's pretty much what they're doing here. And there you have your little paper mache bowl. And then you can decorate it. They chose not to. They probably used like a thing called Mod Podge to cover it all with to make it really super stiff, because they didn't use any other paint or anything like that. Then there's two YouTube videos. So one of them is,
if you're filming this video, it means there's
let's go.
a new solar program where you can
So little commercials, we'll skip this ad, and here we go. So they, again, did not do a lot of painting to their vase, and they put flowers in it. And this is just a quick little video, kind of shows the steps. And it's interesting to me because they took this cardboard, so it's really like lightweight cardboard, and made I'm going to call them appendages to their piece, so that it's not so dictated, the shape's not so dictated by the balloon. So you can certainly do that. And they didn't blow their balloon up very much. So they taped it to that bottom little piece that they created to help define the shape a little bit more than what a balloon would give you. And then that's the rim or the top piece, the neck. And you could do this all before you start paper macheing. And they use that glue and water mixture. And notice how they're using a paintbrush. So some of you may want to do that if you don't like dipping or getting your hands all gluey. Just remember your paintbrush will forever be a glue paintbrush because you're not going to use it for paint after you do that. It'll just dry out really stiff because of the glue. So probably part of what's going to take the longest in this particular project is the drying once you're all done paper macheing. But you can see how nice that shape is, and then they just put those rocks in to hold those flowers. And then the last one is just kind of the same. It's more of a teacher video. Let's see, we are. Here we go. So I'm going to speed through here because we don't need to watch this whole thing. And this music reminds me of a video game, doesn't it? Don't you feel like Mario's jumping around to this music? But anyways, there she is. You know, this is more, like I said, a teacher video. So she wants them to put their name on that plate, blow up their balloon, and then newspaper and white paper. And it takes a while to get there. Ripping up the paper, getting ready. And then you could dip it, they dip it into a paste. Sometimes people use wallpaper paste to do paper mache. And then you're just laying the strips down on the balloon to cover it up. And then what she does in the end, I'm going to just fast forward it after she's doing, so she's got the white paper to cover it for the last layer. And then what she does is she is making a foot. I'll go from here. So she's just twisting up newspaper to make a foot for her piece. So she'll tape that all together and then tape it to the piece. And then what she does is she draws the top and she's going to cut that away. I'm going to do a little fast forwarding here too. And so you can see how she cuts that away. And she's going to take extra paper. This is like stiff cardstock type paper that she creates a handle and a picture looking rim for it. So, and then she paper maches over all of that. And you can kind of see the shape there, right there. All right. So those are some resources for you to have. And then here's some process pictures. There's some ideas. You know, here you can see the balloons in it. They taped a bottom for this one, like that's what this would be, upside down, kind of. There's the bottom to it. This one they taped a paper towel roll to the top to make it long and skinny. and then some examples of finished work. So these are done either with paint or marker, and mostly paint, I think. So also some more process videos and process images, and then a final piece. And then also, here's the moon, and here is the rim and the foot. And then here's some images of bowls. So you can see how like these are kind of textury, but these are really smooth. So with the balloon on the inside, it should be pretty smooth. I think this is kind of funny. If anybody has confetti and you want to do it on the balloon, basically, I guess you would put a lot of glue all over your balloon and kind of roll it in the confetti and make a little confetti bowl. Some more examples of student work. Not quite done yet. And then other examples of different kinds of shapes that you can create and different kinds of surface decoration. So this looks like, to me, they cut out magazines like we did with the collage and glued them onto their piece, which is one way of thinking of maybe a surface decoration. This looks like it has a lot of paint, but it also has a lot of texture, like as if they added maybe yarn or possibly just more newspaper to create the texture. And this made a bowl and then put it on this stand. So this could be a toilet paper roll with some extra cardboard down here. And then you have something like a goblet. And then one more little bowl that's been decorated. It shows that it's dimension by like adding this golf ball here. It's just kind of showing how big that this particular piece is. All right, so I will post this up to Schoology, and I will, I'll show you this again. So this is just kind of folded paper that I used for the very bottom, taped it to the piece, and then made the foot that it stands on. And this, if you can see in there, is just really a toilet paper roll that was taped to the top of my balloon, and I started. So I started using marker to decorate this. So that's why using that final step of just white paper is super important. So, even when you're using paint, it's so much better results when you have just a white background to work on instead of competing with newsprint. So does anybody have any questions so far? No? Okay. I'm going to stop this.